Do you guys remember me telling you about the group of women, coworkers, and some that I thought were friends that added me to a group chat that were making fun of me? Boy, do I have an update for you. And hey, it's day 20. I made it to day 20, eating from my garden. Cherry tomatoes, by the way, but yesterday there was no food going in at all. Ugh. I'm much better today, guys, much better. I am keeping it light. I'm just doing salad, cherry tomatoes. I have some oil in the lettuce. And then because I'm going to be eating on Sunday, I'm going to make up for it. Don't worry. But I couldn't quit. I can't quit. So I worked at a school for a short time because I wanted the same schedule as my kids while they were little before I went back to my line of work. I met a great group of women and then also some mom friends, and we had a group chat where we just talked about school stuff, our kids. It was just like a mom chatting group, basically. I liked all the women, but there was one in particular that did something when I first started working there before she got to know me that was definitely a red flag. When we were at recess with the kids, I went over to the group of teachers and she said to me, just so you know, PCA stand over there and teachers stand over here. So she was telling me my place. But, sometimes first impressions are wrong. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. She seemed to be nice. So I was part of this group. 20 hits, and then we're all out of work. So we're just messaging every once in a while. And as you might know, most kids were just on TikToks, but then moms started getting on TikToks, including this mom. So I started making content. Then we went back to school. And I will say, in their defense, I only had like 10,000 followers, but I talked about it all the time. If you're going to meet me, you're going to hear about my page and that I went through IVF. So I definitely think I can come off as braggy about stuff like that. And I don't mean it to be, but in their defense, if it seemed like I was, bragging, I could totally see that. So I was actually leaving the job soon. I think I had like 3 weeks left before I went back into my optical field. Over the weekend, I don't look at my phone. I'm playing with my kids. And then I pick it up for dinner and I see the group message and there's like 25 messages. The first one is of my TikTok and I'm dancing in it. And remember, I'm heavier at this time. Right away, the mean one that forwarded the TikTok was like, don't you think she's a little bit too heavy to be dancing? I mean, her belly is jiggling, which it was. And honestly, it just gets worse and worse. They're talking about like, does she think she's famous now? She's going to be on talk shows, don't you know? She's going to be, moving to LA. And of course, I never said any of these things. Aren't her kids embarrassed? Isn't her husband embarrassed? Does she actually think this is going to make money? Oh, don't you know she's going to get a brand deal? And I'm just like, it's almost felt so out of touch with reality because I'm like, they know I'm in this group chat, like what the heck. So right at the end of it was the one who is nice and I still talk to today and said, that Tara's on this chat, right? I mean, it's not like they were my good friends, but I definitely thought they were friendly and I thought that they were nice, and I never thought, except for the one, I just thought that they liked me, really. I was definitely hurt because all the things that they were saying, is it embarrassing for my kids? Is anything going to come out of it? Of course, I thought those things. Luckily, I went on a bike trail with like my mom, my stepdad, my husband at the time, like the next day, and they just made me feel better. They're like, people are always going to talk about you and don't let it stop you from doing what you love. And you're really making something. And I'm so glad that I listened to their advice. And everybody wants to know what happened after that because I made a video on it where I don't talk. I just show what happened in pictures, but nothing really. I have finished up my 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks left and I just avoided them as best I can. And the one who is still friendly with me today just feels horrible. She's still friends with them though, so that makes me a little feel weird, but she's very kind to me. And when I see her, we talk, but I don't talk to the other women. But here's the update. So this morning I'm scrolling on my For You page. I see 3 of the women on my For You page selling TikTok shop items. And then they had another account where they were just dancing. Like literally what I was doing that they said was so embarrassing. They have kids in the school too. And now they're dancing with glasses of wine. I don't even have glasses of wine when I'm dancing. So they're trying to sell something in their business or something like that, but they're all over my For You page. And I'm like, what? I mean, I know they just start, maybe it's because it's easier to do it now because there's so many other women. So maybe I need to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm like, can you believe that? Like you made fun of what I was doing and now you're doing it? it was almost too much information for my brain to handle this morning. And I also found out more about them. Like they're not friends. Some of them aren't even married anymore. Like it just seems like their lives blew up. So maybe it's definitely better that I never became close friends with any of them. But that's the update and that's the story. I know everybody wanted to know like what happened because I made that video. I didn't expect it to go viral, and then it did. And everybody's like, well, what happened after that? So that's what happened. Really nothing. I wish I would have told them off. Yes, I wish I would have confronted them, but I never did, and I never even messaged them back. I just deleted it and I blocked everybody. And yes, that is a little bit of a regret. I wish I would have stuck up for myself, but they're doing the same thing. Is that crazy? Okay, and one more day, guys.